everyone, how are you? I'm back with a new video on the topic sexual reproduction in flowering plant. And the topic for today is phloem complex tissue. As we know that permanent tissues are of two types. One is called simple permanent tissue, one is called complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue is a tissue which is made up of single type of cells. Like we have seen parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. But complex tissue is a tissue which is made up of different types of cells, where one is called as xylem tissue, meant for the conduction of water and minerals, that is called as sap throughout the plant body. And the second complex permanent tissue is phloem. Phloem, which is actually meant for the conduction of food throughout the different body parts. Phloem is also called as leptome. The term phloem was coined by the scientist called as Nageli. The main function of this tissue is the conduction of food from the leaf to the different parts of the plant body. Phloem can be divided into two parts on the basis of origin, just like we have seen in the categories of xylem. On the basis of origin, phloem is of two types, primary phloem and secondary phloem. Phloem, which is formed during the time of primary growth of plant body, that is called primary phloem, and the phloem which is formed during the time of secondary growth of plant body, that is called secondary phloem. Primary phloem जिसका origin procambium है, because procambium tissue is the tissue which initiates the primary growth and the primary vascular bundle or vascular tissue formation. Whereas if we talk about the origin of secondary phloem, then vascular cambium. Vascular cambium is a characteristic feature of secondary growth in plant body. If any plant do not go for secondary growth, then definitely secondary or this vascular cambium formation cannot be seen in those groups of plants, like it is not seen in the monocots. So monocots, they never go for the secondary growth, and that is why secondary phloem is not formed in them. But when we discuss about dicots, once they complete their primary growth, they move towards the secondary growth, and secondary growth, the formation of the secondary phloem is being seen with the help of the tissues called as vascular cambium. Primary phloem, again you can divide primary phloem into two categories. One is called protophlloem, one is called as metaphlloem. Protophlloem मतलब those phloem elements which are formed first, they are primitive one, and metaphlloem which are formed later. How you can differentiate between the two? You can differentiate between the two by looking to the diameter of the sieve tubes. Sieve tubes, these are one of the component of the phloem tissue. We will see very soon. So protophlloem is the one in which sieve tubes are quite very narrow in diameter, and metaphlloem is the one where broad sieve tubes can be observed. The phloem tissue is composed of four major components. Like in xylem, we have seen four components, that is xylem vessels, tracheids, parenchyma and xylem fibers. Here also four major elements, where one is called sieve element, another is companion cell, phloem fiber and phloem parenchyma. Let's discuss each of the component in detail. Now, the first component which is making our phloem complex tissue is the sieve element. Sieve element, which is composed of two important parts. One is called sieve tube, one is called a sieve cell. Sieve tube, which is a characteristic feature of only angiosperms. Sieve tubes like structures, they are absent from gymnosperms. Sieve tubes, these are long cylindral tube-like cells joined end to end. If you can see in the diagram, these are the sieve cells. This is a complete sieve tube element, where the cells are arranged one over another, joining end to end. They possess sieve areas on the end walls called as sieve plate with sieve pores within them. So if you can see, these are the cells which are placed one over another, end to end wall, having a sieve plate, a perforated sieve plate having the sieve pores. So sieve plate is having sieve pores which allow conduction of the food along to the concentration gradient. A very important feature, sieve tube elements, sieve tubes, these do not possess nucleus. So all their nucleus activity or nuclear activity, it is controlled by the companion cells which are associated along with it. Actually, sieve tube cells and companion cells, they are considered to be the twin cells from the origin point of view. Later on with the development, companion cell retain its nucleus, whereas sieve tube cells, they have lost their nucleus, because their main function is to help in the conduction of maximum food from leaf to the other parts of the body. So companion cell control all its nuclear activity, whereas it itself does not possess the nucleus. At maturity, sieve tubes have large vacuoles and their cytoplasm get changed into a thin layer only, because as soon as the vacuole size larges, the cytoplasm get arranged onto the periphery and become quite very thin in arranged in the form of a layer. These are the special characteristics of angiosperms. So this is all about our sieve tube elements. Let's see the next sieve cells. Now the next component is sieve cell. On the contrary to the presence of sieve tube element in angiosperms, if we talk about gymnosperms and pteridophytes, we look to the presence of sieve cells inside those plants. Sieve cells, these are also long, thin-walled cells with tapering ends. If we make it like this, then these cells are long, thin, with tapering ends. With tapering ends like this. So again, the cells are like this. These are long, thin placed cells, one over another, and there are inside these sieve cells, sieve pores are present all throughout the sieve cells. So these are long, thin, tapering, thin-walled cells with the tapering ends, and they have sieve pores present all throughout the sieve cells. These are the characteristic features of gymnosperms and pteridophytes. In these particular cells, associated with sieve cells, there is no companion cells. As we have just talked about sieve tube elements in angiosperms, associated with sieve tube elements, which are long cylindrical bodies, are present the companion cells, and all the nuclear activity is being controlled by the companion cells, because the sieve tube elements, they do not have the nucleus. But in these cells, in these sieve cells, associated with them companion cells are absent. In some of the sieve tube elements, in some of the old sieve tube elements, in some of the growing seasons, in sieve tube elements which is having these sieve plates, is showing the presence of a deposition of a callose plug. Again I repeat, in some of the old growing season sieve plates, throughout the sieve ports, there is a plugging of the callose. There is called as a callose plug, which plug out, or which blocks these sieve pore elements, and so through the once the sieve pores are being blocked, there won't be conduction of any food material through the plant body. In some of the old sieve tube elements I am talking about, in some of the seasons, in the sieve tube elements, there is a presence of callose plug is being observed, but as soon as the spring season comes back, these callose gets dissolved. Callose is a type of carbohydrate. This callose plug get dissolved, and again the conduction of the food parts start beginning from the one part of the body to another part. So in this particular sieve element, we have discussed the two important components. Sieve elements consist of two important elements. One is called as sieve tube element, one is called as sieve cell. Sieve tubes, these are long cylindrical tubes placed one above another, end to end. The point where they are placed end to end, there is present a perforated sieve plate where are present some sieve pores through which the things are moving from one place to another. In some of the old sieve tube, in a particular growing season, These seed pores get plugged with the help of Callus plug, which on the arrival of spring season gets dissolved, and again the conduction activity begins. The sieve tubes are the characteristics of only angiosperms. Very important point to be noted for sieve tube, that they do not possess any nucleus, and all their nuclear activity is controlled by their twin cells called as the companion cell, which is बिल्कुल एकदम associated nearly or next to the sieve tube elements. Whereas on contrary to sieve tube elements, gymnosperms and pteridophytes, they show the presence of sieve cells. These are also long tapering cells having end-to-end point connected with each other, but the sieve pores are not present in any sieve plate, but the sieve pores are present throughout the sieve cell in order to help the conduction. They do not have any companion cells associated with them to control their nuclear activity. So this is the first component of the phloem tissue, that is called as sieve element. Let's see the next one called as companion cell. Now let's see the next important component of phloem tissue is companion cell. As just now we have discussed that companion cell are the characteristic feature of only angiosperms, whereas in place of companion cells, albuminous cells are present in the gymnosperm. So gymnosperms never contains companion cell. In spite of this, there are some simple type of cells called as albuminous cells. So what are the characteristics of companion cells? These are also long, elongated, living parenchymatous cells which are thin-walled. So let me remind you one thing. Unlike xylem, phloem is completely a living tissue. Xylem was dead. Why? Because out of 4 elements, 3 were a dead element and only one, xylem parenchyma, was a live tissue. But whereas in phloem, out of 4 components, 3 are live and 1 is dead. 3 are live. Which are these 3? Sieve tube elements are live. Companion cell we considered as live. Phloem parenchyma, definitely it's live. Then what one which is dead to be considered is phloem fiber, or they are called as bast fibers. So only fiber, which is by nature, because they provide mechanical strength. So fibers are those type of components of phloem tissue which are only dead. Otherwise all of the tissues are living. So companion cell is a long elongated living parenchymatous cell whose cell wall is quite very thin. They are associated laterally to the sieve tubes, and they have a very dense cytoplasm and nucleus. So you can see, as in the diagram I have made it, this is a sieve tube element, this is a sieve plate, and these are the sieve pores. Associated with each sieve tube element, there is a companion cell. Very next to the sieve tube element, associated closely and laterally, is the companion cell. Companion cell is a very prominent nucleus and a dense cytoplasm. Whereas in the sieve tube element, we have seen that they do not have nucleus. All of the nuclear activity is controlled by the companion cell. Ontogenetically, we see the sieve tube and the companion cell, they both are related because they have a common origin. And because they have a common origin, they are also called as twin cells. They are also called as twin cells. So companion cell are always associated. If this is a sieve tube element, then it is always associated with a companion, and this companion cell is connected with the sieve tube element with the help of some interconnections called as plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata are some of the interconnections between the two respective cells. So दो adjacent cell के बीच की जो interconnection है, जो companion cell को sieve tube element से जोड़ के रखे हुए है, connected है, that is called plasmodesmata. So definitely companion cell do help sieve tube elements for the conduction. Directly companion cell do not involved in the conduction, but all the nuclear activity of these cells are being controlled by the companion cell. While in gymnosperms, these cells are absent and there is a presence of albuminous cells in place of it. Let's see the next component, that is called as phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Okay, let's see the third component of phloem tissue, that is called phloem parenchyma. Phloem parenchyma, as name suggests, that it is a living type of cell. So living parenchyma, it is a living component of the phloem tissue. It is made up of living parenchymatous cells. very important characteristic feature of dicots in angiosperms, but as well as in monocot it is found to be totally absent. In monocots, in their phloem, there is no parenchymatous tissue. Why? Because storage is not a characteristic of many of the monocots, whereas storage of secondary metabolite is main of the characteristic of dicots. When we were studying about the parenchymatous tissue, I told you various different type of parenchymatous tissue like prosenchyma, chlorenchyma, arenchyma and idioblast. Idioblast, which are usually meant for storage of ergastic material. So ergastic material like latex, like resins, gums. So these are basically many of the dicots speciality that they do secrete some kind of ergastic substances which are stored in the parenchymatous tissue. So phloem parenchyma is usually not seen in the monocots, but yes, they are mostly seen in the dicots. Function is they also help in the radial conduction of the food. So along with the sieve tube elements, they do help in the radial conduction of food, and very important that they help in the storage of ergastic substances such as latex and resins. So phloem parenchyma, like other two elements, these are also called as the living components of the phloem tissue. So altogether these three are the living components, hence phloem collectively is called as the living complex tissue. The one which is left is called as phloem fibers. Now, last but not the least, the component is called as phloem fibers. Fiber, it's very clear from the name that it is completely a dead component of phloem complex tissue. Fiber, very clear from the name that it is going to provide high mechanical strength to the plant body. This complex tissue, this phloem tissue is going to have its tensile strength because of the presence of these phloem fibers. This is the only dead component of the phloem tissue, completely sclerenchymatous in nature. Sclerenchyma, which is a kind of dead cell. So all these cells which are making the phloem fibers, the nature of these fibers is sclerenchymatous. These are thick walled with a narrow cavity and tapering ends. So as usual, what a fiber is supposed to be, the same diagram of this fiber is. The same feature of structural component of this fiber is. What it is going to do for the phloem? It is going to provide mechanical strength to the phloem tissue. Some of the phloem fibers, also called bast fibers, are commercially exploited. Like they are used to make jute, flax, hemp, for various textile industry, to make ropes and various other commercial products. So some of the commercial fibers like belonging to hibiscus, cannabis, linum, these are also used for the purpose of commercial exploitation. It's a very important question for the competitive exam that jute, flax, hemp, these are actually commercial product of which kind of fibers. Then bast fibers, these are the phloem fibers. Collectively, I have made a diagram for you which can clear you idea finally what is about phloem tissue is. So phloem tissue is a complex permanent tissue meant for the conduction of food from leaf to different parts of the body. For conduction of this food or the phloem sap, there are four components. Altogether, phloem is a live tissue, unlike xylem, which is a dead tissue. Phloem consists of sieve elements, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. Sieve elements is of two types, sieve tubes as well as sieve cell. Sieve tube is a characteristic of angiosperm, whereas sieve cell is a characteristic of gymnosperm. This is a sieve tube, the long tapering tube, long cylindrical bodies placed one above another, end to end are placed one above another, making a perforated sieve plate through which the sieve pores allow in the conduction of the phloem sap. These cells at maturity lose their nuclei because their main function is to help in the conduction. So whereas ontogenetically there is one more cell related to these sieve tubes, these are called as companion cell. Origin of both these cells is same, and that is why these are called as a sister cells or twin cells. A question for your NEET exam. Companion cell has a very prominent nucleus with a very thick dense cytoplasm supporting these cells to perform their nuclear activities. Other than these, there are phloem parenchyma, which are not usually found in the monocots but do found in the dicots. Parenchyma are the living parenchymatous cells, help in the storage of food, help in the radial conduction of food, as well as storage of the ergastic material like resins, latex being secreted by the plant. And the fibers which provide tensile strength or mechanical strength, whereas some of the fibers are also commercially exploited. I hope phloem complex tissue concept with the diagram is very much clear to you. All the four components of xylem in the previous video and phloem in this video is completed with the complete complex permanent tissue as a topic. I think you must have understood, and if any of the point remain not being very clear to you, you can put your questions or queries in the comment box. I will do solve them. If you like the video, then definitely like this video, do share this video with your friends, and still if you have not subscribed my channel, do subscribe my channel. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy at home.